What's up, everybody? Tito Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Actually, bring the Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and just because Christmas is tomorrow, we actually have NFL games and the waiver wires dropping tomorrow. So if you don't want to fret and you're looking for a prize, stay till the end, and I'll give you an IDP. All right. Oh, yeah. How's everybody doing for another episode of the Hard Hits Review? Oh, yeah. Man, that was crazy. In a lot of leagues, that was the semifinal championship matchup. A lot of people are in the championships games that start tomorrow. So that's how I'm going to speak. If you have a 2 week championship game or a championship game that does go into next week, I will be here. Both IDP heats of the week and my waiver wire pickup. Of course, there shouldn't be anybody else other than the final two teams picking anybody up, unless you play a rotisserie league. Other than that, let's get to it. Well, I only had 3 out of 7 teams make it, so I went 3-4. Unfortunately, I did do well in my McDonald league where I was coming off the bye at 13-1, lost. And I put up over 113 points. In the league average literally is usually 85 to 90. So, I was above the average grade. I lost 133 to 113. Man, things happen. There's nothing else I could really have done to change that. But, there was a lot of things. Two of my teams that I lost to yesterday had Justin Jefferson. Also, I went 1-1 against teams that had the Green Bay Packers. I barely survived one league. And that was actually the Psycho Time Travelers, which is in like it was like, so there was the Pot of Thunder football group where we did that and the Fantasy Football League. And that one I lost in. I lost literally the last week and got bounced from the playoffs. Sucked. Too many injuries. Things happen. This one, however, I was the second ranked team coming off of a bye, and I literally almost got waxed. So, that being said, my Winterfell Dire Wolves made it barely, barely. The final score is 121 to 114. And I don't even know how I won that game, honestly. I literally, there was not enough work, but I went into that game because I have Kamara in that league. I went into that game and I actually played Kendra Miller. And in that league, he got 9 points. So he literally barely beat the guy. And the dude was a 70% chance of losing at the beginning of the week. And even after Thursday, he was a 70% chance of losing. And he went into that game up on me. He had some big, big, big games. So, that's just what happens in fantasy football. Sometimes you have the easy smash. And that was the thing, too, with my 13-1 team. They were a 70% chance to win before the games happened. Then Thursday happened, and I had Mixon go, and that game wasn't really good, and it was 3.9 in that league. That's all he got. So therefore, when you look at me and I lost by 20 points, I had him down, and at the same time, it just sucked. Derrick Henry never got that touchdown either. Really could have helped out, but that's in the end. I lost. I have a chance for third place. And that's what we try to preach at Dr. Roto. It's about putting yourself in the right position to see if you can win money or a championship. You don't always have to place first. If your league places up to fourth place, which in my other high stakes league that I lost, and I lost pretty good, Josh Allen was just down. I had Josh Jacobs actually do the best out of anybody, but get pulled. It was Chase Brown, he just had a regular game, missed out on a couple it just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. So that's the way it goes. On to the next week, third place games for those 4 teams. But I do have 3 teams. Again, the Psycho Time Travelers, the Winterfell Dire Wolves, and the Machoberg Sack Masters, which is my IDP Dynasty League, started by a guy named Carl here in Erie, Pennsylvania. So I fought tooth and nail. This team was completely injured, ransacked, destroyed. They fought back. And they got into the playoffs as the 7th seed at 6-8. They then have beaten that team, the team to come out, which I think at that time, since I just beat the number 1 team, so most likely I beat the third place team when I came in the first round last week, and then this week I beat the number 1 team. I'm going into the championship game, and I That's what it takes sometimes. It doesn't matter. And I lost to my team that was 13-1, lost to a 6-8 team. So again, you just got to get yourself, and sometimes things, lucky things, happen and can go your way. And the next thing you know, right plays in the right time, and you're in the championship. You're looking at a first place finish. Regardless of the year, this year I went in, a lot of my leagues were free. So that kind of helped. And I'll be able to pull money from all of these leagues as long as I can do my third place finish in both those leagues and maybe even take first place in this. Then that overall will give me a profitable season yet once again. And right now, as it stands, I'm looking at being profited. If I take those third place games in those few leagues, I'll have profit over $60. And then the winnings of this next championship game added on top of that. Of course, there's a couple free leagues I like to do for trophies with friends, just kind of fun. But those leagues are really, really hard to win. So when you can get in the top of one of those leagues, like the one where the Winterfell Dire Wolves is in, that's crazy. I was predicted to be 13-1 in that league, and I went 12-2 and almost lost. That tells you a lot of something. And that's why we love doing fantasy football. You never know what's going to happen, but it's a great dance along the way. Oh, yeah. Man, right now, I want to break out of the normal show before I move on. I mean, and honestly, you got to look at that. I got three chances at a championship, and I have four chances at, a better draft pick in some leagues and some extra money. That's just what we preach. But I want to say thank you. Thank you all year long as I approach my 400th episode of Bring the Pain. I want to say thank you from the staff at Dr. Roto and even Doc himself, and of course, myself for listening and reading all of my articles. If it wasn't for any of you, I wouldn't be to this point where I'm at and even have the confidence. There's a lot of times back in the day when I was writing for free that it felt like I would just take weeks off because it just felt like nobody was out there listening and things like that. But now people are, and I'm thankful for that. And that is my Christmas present to all of you. It's a big, giant thank you, and to say that, I couldn't do this without Doc. I couldn't have did this without the staff, and I couldn't have done this without any of you. And as I get near my 400th episode, and I'm looking forward to one of the biggest episodes I've ever had, which is this Saturday recording with Simon Shackleton, aka Elite Force, from the group Lunatic Calm, who also went by Zodiac Cartel, has done major ultra music festival events, and has been all over the world as a DJ, has played all night, and over the years, me and him have talked. So that is a huge episode. Again, I am all sports. I am everything, but I want to say thank you, because if it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't have the opportunity or the confidence to ask somebody like Simon to do a podcast like that. And it all starts at Dr. Roto. This is more than just a DFS site at times. And yes, I understand that the subscribers have a price every single month. You have a league commitment, and that is fine. And we thank you so much. So that is what we do. But at the same time, we're more than just that. The community that we have created here at Dr. Roto has been always positive. There has hardly ever been any negativity in any of our rooms. The minute somebody was negative, usually they just saw their way out real fast. And that happens every once in a while. You can't help or save everybody. They sometimes interpret your information or another person's information wrong, and they'll either come to you or leave you because they just don't. And that's fine. Sometimes you may not be their DFS expert, but our DFS experts and so many different ones, so many different blends of DFS experts other than myself. Doc, you have Doc. Doc, everybody loves Doc. So when you're getting his advice, you're getting my advice. When you're getting Danger's advice, Lou's advice, Chris's weekly rankings, and then you get everybody else weighing in. You get it's a match made in heaven, and that's what you get. But we also talk fun stuff. We also have leagues inside, and a lot of us experts also play off each other. With Fantasy Clown coming in, Ed, and talking a lot about the dynasty and getting everybody prepared. I read his article recently. It was just awesome, and I loved everything he said about going with dynasty teams and your dynasty builds and things like that. And that's what this podcast, the Hard Hits podcast, has been all season. It's been a seasonal and a dynasty podcast talking about looking for the players. Not everybody plays in a 20-man or 32-man dynasty league. There's a lot of 10 to 16 team dynasty leagues, and those dynasty leagues have players like this open. And those players, whether you stream or not, are well can perform for you. That being said, that is why I always include one IDP from player from my article that just dropped on Dr. Roto today. Both of my articles dropped. So again, it is that season. We're looking forward to the new year. So definitely stay tuned to Dr. Roto and Bring the Pain on my personal page as well, because most likely I'm not going to post my Simon Shackleton interview here. You will have to actually go to my Spreaker and my Facebook page at Bring the Pain on Facebook to find me, to see that podcast. Because I'm telling you right now, when you have somebody on your show that has 30 plus years experience in music, and one of the other guys that you've looked up to all your entire life, followed, and are a friend of, DJ Magic Mike, also respects him and plays his music at times for me, only lets me know that the respect that this podcast is going to have, the greatness, the fun, and the information you're going to learn is unlike anything else that you've ever seen from Bring the Pain. And that is how I bring the pain. All right, let's get to it. Man, which IDP player are we going to highlight this week? Man, Kaiser White of the Arizona Cardinals. This guy's been fire all year long. Total 119 tackles. Right now, he is getting 100% of the snaps, and he is only owned in 21% of the leagues. He may be out there. Why do I say Kaiser White? Because the last time Kaiser White played the LA Rams, he only got 7 tackles. However, in the last 5 games, Kaiser White has gone over double digits in 4 out of those 5 games. And in the one game he didn't, he scored 9.5 towards the standard IDP scoring in that league and my model. So when you take that, you have 5 games of this kind of level going right now while Arizona's watching their season fade, which I don't mind as a Ram fan. So, horns up, Cardinals down. We're going to smash you birds this week. We ain't playing. We'll put you out of your misery. We will take you out. Kyler Murray, you could have did more for me in that championship game. A 30-point game would have helped me deal with Justin Jefferson. But now we're faced with this long, hard fact that you're going to get whooped this week. That leaves a lot of tackling opportunity for Kaiser White. Yes, I know that Arizona kicked our butts last time. So, that being said, I predicted 7 tackles and 1 stuff. I will tell you why I predicted 1 stuff. In the past 5 games, Kaiser White has 5.5 total stuffs, also 2 sacks to go with it. That is phenomenal. And Stafford will go down. If you get near Stafford, he'll just duck and let you get a sack. So this gives Kaiser White plenty of opportunity for tackle. As I always say, POT, opportunity for tackle. Let's do it, right? This week, pick him up, start him, and you will definitely have a championship trophy to put on your shelf next week. Oh, yeah. Have a great day, everybody, and always remember to bring the pain. May the tackles be with you, and may the presents be with you. Merry Christmas, everybody, and today, a good night. Good luck in your fantasy championships this week.